All right, I'm here today to talk about my mom, Nancy Howe, who turns 80 this year. Before we get started, there's a couple things I need to point out just for the record. Number one, she just turned 79. Number two, she hates being the center of attention. And apparently that's why she neglected to tell me I could make videos and photos and all that kind of stuff. Number three, she lives by the motto, you are only as old as you feel. And she doesn't feel 80. But she does like a good party, so we are here. For those of you that don't know me, I am Debbie, the younger of her two daughters, and proud to be her mini-me. When I was little, there was a photograph in our house of a little blonde girl making a funny face and a taller girl with curly hair that clearly wasn't my sister. I used to ask, Mommy, who's the little girl in the picture with me? She would say, that's your Aunt Sally. And I would just shake my head and walk away, so confused. Yes, I was lucky enough to get a straight shot of her DNA, which, among other things, includes a lifetime of skinny legs and a love for Miller Lite. But I also got her strong work ethic, her ability to just figure things out, and the strength to kick breast cancer in the ass just like she did. What can I tell you about my mom? She is a New Hampshire girl, born and raised in the small town of Walpole. I didn't bring a map, but it's in New Hampshire, near Keene. Not sure what the population was, but there was only 13 kids in her graduating class. They don't spend a lot of time going to reunions. Thankfully, she got out of there after high school and spent 2 years at Becker Junior College in Worcester, Mass, getting her secretarial degree. She also spent time living and having fun in the Boston Back Bay. I'm not sure of all the details during this time, but I remember several stories involving Fenway Park, the bleachers, and a lot of beer. In 1958, she married my dad, and they put down roots in the coastal Connecticut town of Stratford, where they lived for 43 years. My sister Amy and I arrived on the scene about 10 years later, 16 months apart. Amy and her husband were here last week with her two boys and their sister who was in school, a freshman at the University of New Hampshire. Mom was an executive secretary. She worked at AFCO Lycoming, which became Textron, the large turbine engine plant in our town, as well as a local advertising agency. She took time off to be home with us until we finished elementary school, and then she went right back to work. This, of course, was when we learned to cook, do laundry, hang the clothes on the line, and clean toilets. She was convinced she'd hate retirement, but my dad finally got her to retire in 2001 from a job she loved, head secretary at an elementary school. Well, surprise, surprise, she loves retirement. I mean, who wouldn't? It is constantly happy hour on 6th Terrace. Before she retired, they'd come down and visit Mom's sister Sally and decided to make it their second home. They've spent 6 months a year here at Iona Ranch for the last 15 years. And when they're not here, they live in Ackworth, New Hampshire on Crescent Lake, so it is always summer. They do it right. They have great friends, stay very busy, and enjoy life. Mom always says age is just a number, which is true. But 80 is an impressive number, and she fought hard to get here. We are proud of her, so we will celebrate. We will celebrate today, probably again this summer at the lake, and again in December when her actual birthday rolls around, whether she likes it or not. Congratulations, Mom. We love you.